Hello, everyone, and welcome to Warrior Chat. I'm today's host, Mark Rill, and with me are two very special people here within the school district, Andy Shiloh and Lynn Miller. Today we're going to talk about the district mobile app, and this app was just released about a month ago. So if you both could talk a little bit about why this app is needed, where did the need come from?
Well, Lynn, you can feel free to jump in whenever you'd like. This was a good way for us to be able to communicate to all parties. This is the first time that students and community members that don't have any students in schools are able to get notifications. Before, you used to, if you had a student and you were a parent, you had a student enrolled in a school, then you got the notification, but now the kids can get, if there's athletic events are closed early, or if there's a postponement or anything that way, they get that notification. If you're a community member that would like to know information about school board, scholarships, or anything that way, you now can have that information as well.
The key here was making sure that people that didn't have the resources before to get the instant notifications about emergency closings, things of a timely nature, they didn't have to log into the website to check it themselves routinely. So being able to push desired messages to outside community members was a key factor in developing this app.
And it's nice now that you can be in Glen Rock, New Freedom, Alaska. You could be on a mountaintop as long as you can get to a Wi-Fi signal or a 3G signal or 4G signal. You can get this on your mobile device.
What do you think specifically with students in mind? What do you think, or how do you think that this app enhances their educational experience?
Well, I'll jump in. First of all, there's a student portal on here, or a tools portal, where they can get onto Progress Book, Blackboard, Ingenuity if they use that system. So they are able to do a lot of things on the go now where they weren't able to do something like that before, unless they went on the browser, and that was not the best situation to go into, where they had to be on a computer. So they can kind of walk and do everything that we expect as adults to be able to do.
Right, and the flexibility again is the key here. We want our students, and we recognize that they are usually their mobile devices more than anything. So recognizing their needs and matching our communication style to that is key for us as a school district.
It's interesting that you mentioned that. I recently read a industry survey in the marketing world about, within the past year, emails were first read on a mobile device rather than a traditional laptop, desktop, for the first time. So I think there is an industry shift to more of a mobile device area. Andy, can you take us quickly through the app, its features, and then feel free to jump in. We kind of want to give folks the overview of why it is that they would want to download this app.
Sure. Well, first of all, whenever you do download the app for the first time, it's going to ask you to decide what schools you'd like to get notifications from. So as a district employee, I'm going to get something from each of the different schools and athletics. But if you have a student at Friendship or Shrewsbury or just the Susquehannock High School, you may only select that, and that's a good place to start. And that's something that you can change as you go. For instance, just right now, I just changed to make sure that I don't get notifications from Shrewsbury, but I'll change that back at a different time. Once you do get in there, the first area that I would look at are the notifications. In the notification section, you'll see that you can click on a school and it'll give you any recent notifications that have been sent out. That's a nice feature that if you do miss something, you can go in there and you'll see that right away. You then go to events, and in events, you can actually merge your calendar, merge our events into your calendar. This is something that I did very early on. As somebody that is around all different areas, I coach basketball, this was an important thing to me. I could see this being a very important aspect if you have kids that are in 3 different schools, or anything that way. That's going to help a lot. I then would look towards our athletics and our schools. So my schools is, if you click in schools and you click the school that you're looking for, I'll pick Southern Elementary for instance. In there, I'm going to find the website, the Twitter feed, the day cycle school information, school library, a lot of the things that you'd see on our website are now in here, so that you just click on that school, it's right there, it's nice, easily accessible.
I'm going to jump in here, Andy. As a parent, not at this school district, but the question for every morning is, what's for lunch? What day of the cycle is it? What special do I have? And not always being the most prepared in the evening. Sometimes it's a spur of the moment thing. So having everything available in one location is ideal for parents in the morning, helping their kids be as prepared as possible.
And then to piggyback off that, athletics works very similarly to that. There are a lot of, our school is a very storied school with success and different athletic programs, and in there you'll be able to find updated rosters and schedules just by clicking on athletics, and then you'll find the sport that you're looking for. I coach basketball, so I'll just pick basketball, and then in there I'll be able to see boys basketball, 7th, 8th, freshman, junior varsity and varsity, and then if I click on one of them, there I'll be able to get information as to where I can go to find our updated schedule. This is extremely important as we get into a season. You know, if we're looking at football, we can do the same thing that way. Are we home or are we away? It's nice that way. It also gives parents and grandparents the opportunity to see their son or daughter or granddaughter or grandson on a roster. It's a nice feature. I then would move to online tools, and I alluded to this a little bit earlier, and this is where the parents and students can go on and they can see the pertinent things that our school district uses, such as Blackboard, both for the high school and the middle school. You can find parent and student access to Progress Book. You can go into Google Apps, the Courier, Study Island, Ingenuity, and Read 180, and all of those things are, some people will use, some people will not. Ingenuity is used by a population of our school district. It uses for my student or my Digital Academy students. It's something that they, as they're on the go, it's a nice feature to go there.
So if I could stop you for a second. So you're saying that parents can use our mobile app, go to the online tools section, and then sign into Progress Book and see assignments, grades, and what other information would they see?
On the Progress
yes.
Book side of things is where we also keep our attendance information. So if you're curious as to whether or not the excuse that you sent to school actually made it to the appropriate people, that would be an excellent way to track that. It also tracks cumulative for the year, so you'll be able to see the history for the whole year for absences there. It also includes the teachers' names, which you'd be able then to go to the school site within the mobile to find contact information for the teachers if you need to.
And it's nice that you can go on and see, I know you already alluded to grades, but you can go on and see how did the quiz go that day, and you can do that while you're sitting at the field hockey game or the soccer game or anything that way, and be able to see all of that stuff. So that's a very nice feature to be able to look at some of the resources. If you're a student and you want to get on the Blackboard to be able to try to work on an assignment, that's an option you can do as well. And that's where this is really nice, because now it's not just notifications to parents or accessibility to parents, but students and all the like. We also have a feature where we have the directory, so if you're looking for anybody at a different building, if I'm trying to find a teacher at Shrewsbury, but I know that if I find the name, I'll be able to get there. I can click on that person, I click on the teacher, and it gives me an opportunity to email them and what grade they teach and what school. Very beautiful feature that way. Going along with accessibility and things that are nice for you, My School Bucks is something that I use as a district employee.
Can you briefly explain what My School Bucks is?
Yes, so My School Bucks is where you can go in and put in money to then go and be able to go buy lunches at any of the, depending on what school you're at, for me, any of the different schools. So if I click on My School Bucks, and right now I'm moving a little slow here, but then I can go in, put in money into an account that I've already created, and then be able to use that.
So My School Bucks is our new online lunch accounting system where parents can deposit school lunch money into their kids' accounts, and the kids can then access. And from what I understand, parents can also view what their child has purchased.
Yes, and you will also be able to see your balances. So if you know you're getting close on a balance, you're able to go in there and view how much is actually left on the account.
And what's nice is you can set it up so that you get notification whenever the amount is getting low. For instance, my account was under $10 this morning, So I got an alert to go on there and see that. The days of needing to send in a check or cash and hoping that it gets there, you can still do that, but are not there anymore. So you can just put the money on there for you.
And there are additional features within My School Bucks where you can have automatic amounts added when your student's balance goes below a certain amount. So it kind of takes out that "are they getting lunch today" factor.
Good.
Along with My School Bucks, you have a cafeteria and menu section where you can go to an elementary lunch, for instance, and therefore, once it comes up, it'll give you what is going to be served for lunches. It also does that for the secondary and any district breakfasts. It gives information, and in there it also has a link to My School Bucks. So you have you know what to expect whenever you come into school. Your son or daughter is going to come into school for the week for both breakfast and lunch. Additionally, along with those, you have the news feature, which gives any district press release that we send out. And this is great because you can see what's happening in our school district. At the high school, we just rolled out a one-to-one Chromebook initiative, a nice article in there with that. We have something about our district mobile app being released. And you can go through we have 2 teachers, wonderful teachers that won the Shippensburg Award for Outstanding Teacher. Press release there, and the list can go on and on and on. So you can see what is happening at our school district. Even if you don't get the notification, you can go on and read our articles that way. And there's one thing just to put in here along with the features. It's so nice that you don't have to click around. All you have to do is hit done and you're back to the home page.
Absolutely.
That is an awesome thing. That makes it very friendly for me, especially as I looked at different apps in all realms, whether it's a school one or not. The ability to be able to go back to your home page is very nice. Just to wrap up here, because there's a few more items, we have our Alumni Association, and we have any scholarship information. So as we get to the school year, point of the school year where we are looking at scholarships, students can go on here and apply for a scholarship, see what's available, not have to be at the mercy of being at a computer to do that. Wonderful feature. And we also have our Board of Education, and this is exciting because now this is where our community members come in handy with getting information. You can see when our school board meetings are going to be, who our directors and officers are, and also you can see any of the agendas and minutes prior to 2008 and current. So a lot of good things that way. And then we just wrap up with our Twitter page and our YouTube channel.
Wonderful. Now you mentioned earlier that this app integrates in with our emergency notification system that parents are probably used to seeing, getting an email, a phone call when school is closed or delayed. Lynn, can you explain a little bit more about how
Certainly.
this is a piece to that puzzle?
Right. The app program that we chose actually ties right in with our notification system. So as our key members here at Southern York are working to create a communication that's going to be sent to parents, they have a very simple option of clicking a social media button and selecting the building that they would like the information pushed to on our app. That's a wonderful feature because, as we mentioned earlier, the people who currently get email and phone call notifications, it's based on students that are enrolled here in school. If you have a babysitter situation, a grandparent situation where you want them to also be made aware of emergency closings or emergency situations here at school, you would be able to access that through the mobile app, and then when a communication goes out, it would be pushed to users of the app based on what schools, buildings you selected on your initial setup.
That's interesting. So recently we also released the ability for athletic notifications. Do you want to explain a little bit about how folks can receive athletic notifications for when games are canceled, delayed, rescheduled?
Absolutely. We saw quickly a need when we needed to push back some events due to rain a few weeks ago. That would be very handy to be able to have the choice in selecting when you're notified about athletics. So we were able to work with the app and our notification system to quickly get athletics added to the mobile app. At this point, if you go into your settings, especially if you had downloaded the app very early on in its release, you can now select athletics in your notification system, and then when any changes are happening in the athletic schedule, you'll get that released right to your phone.
And all those notifications go into the notification section of the app, so you can review those prior. So, for instance, if a game was canceled and rescheduled for a later date, at a later date, you can pull up that notification and check and see.
Absolutely.
Terrific.
Yeah.
What platforms are supported by this app?
It's on both the Android and the iOS market.
Okay. And how would our users or our community out there download and find the app?
If you go into the Android market or into the Apple Store, you just search for Southern York County Schools, and then you'll get the option to download the app.
It's right there. It has our Warrior Head, Southern York County. It's a great app.
Wonderful. I would like to thank you both for joining us today.
Happy to be here.
Thanks for having us on.
Yes, and a little bit of background about these two terrific folks. Andy was a fifth grade teacher?
Sixth grade teacher.
Sixth grade teacher at Southern Elementary, and this year is now our technology integration specialist, correct?
Yes.
And Lynn Miller, who was an assistant principal at Southern Elementary School, is now our data system specialist.
Correct.
So a special welcome to both of you,
Thank you.
since this is your first year in technology.
Yeah.
It's a great place
We're
to be.
excited to be here.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think some amazing things are going to happen with you two here.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, so that's for your chat for today. We hope that you download our district mobile app, and I'll see you next time.